My name's Jeff Bajorek, and my career in sales has been a hell of a ride. And I want to bring you along with me. And if you prefer to sell things at a premium, if you never want to win a deal on price, rethink the way you sell. And welcome back to the show. My name's Jeff Bajorek. I'm your host, and I'm here to help you rethink the way you sell. This is the fourth question in a series of 5 that I'm going to ask you about understanding what your why is. And quite frankly, I think this is the most important one. And if I had to distill this list of 5 questions down into one, this might be the one. Really close between this one and the one I'm going to ask you on the next episode, which is, in fairness, a trick question. So this is the best question of the bunch when you disqualify the other one for the fact that it's a trick. A little foreshadowing there. I think you're going to like that episode, though. You're going to get a ton of value out of it, and it's coming in just a couple of days. Why do you believe your customer is better off for working with you than anybody else? Why is your customer better off for having bought from you than anybody else? And look, we'll go back. The first question is, why do you believe in your company? The second question is, why do you believe in the products, services, solutions, whatever it is that you call it, that your company sells, right? Why do you believe in what you sell? The third question is, why do you believe in yourself? Tough one for a lot of you to answer, but it's an important one for you to answer. This, I still think, is the most important question, just because it encompasses so many different things. And this is important for a couple of things, for a couple of reasons, rather. It relates to the outcomes you provide, and it forces you to differentiate yourself. That's just a genius question. So think about the problems you solve and the outcomes you provide. We talked a little bit about that a couple of episodes ago. And now, how are they better? How are you better than your competitors? You have to get into some kind of differentiation here. Either you're providing higher returns on investment, or more success, or it's completely different success. I said if you cannot differentiate, you cannot sell. And I've talked for a while now about how you want to talk about your differences rather than you being better, because, when you're speaking with your clients and your prospects anyway, because you don't want this to be any kind of shouting match. You don't want ego to get involved in this. You don't want any subjectivity to get into your conversations, particularly around prospecting. Ignore your competitors. When you know you're differentiated, then you don't have to have the same conversation as your competitors. You don't need to get lumped in with them. But in this case, since you're asking yourself, you can ask yourself why you're better. You can talk to yourself about why you're better. Be fully subjective here. And you should believe that you're better in at least one or two ways. Otherwise, go work for the competitor. And look, it's really, really difficult to beat your competitor in the field if you secretly wished that you worked for them. Okay? I mean, think about that. So why do you believe your customer is better off for working with you? What is different about the results you provide, about the outcomes that you create? What kind of customer is best suited for the kind of differences that you can provide for them? These are really important questions to answer, and these will help guide your answers. Just like the other 3 questions, I want you to sit for a few minutes, find a quiet space. You don't have to move on to the next episode yet until you're done with this one. Take some time. Like I said, if there's one of the 4 that I've asked you by now to answer, it's this one. So spend 10 or 15 minutes, think, write, think some more, reflect, and then I'm going to ask you. You know what I'm going to ask you. Are you inspired? Are you inspired? And if you're not, remember that this is a choice. So Either choose to get inspired or choose to work somewhere where you can be inspired. And a lot of things start to fall into place. So I'm going to run these back one last time. Put them all in one statement. Why do you believe in your company? Why do you believe in the things you sell? Why do you believe in yourself? And why do you believe that your customer is better off for having purchased from you than anybody else? That's the whole assignment. If you want a worksheet, send me an email, jb@jeffbajorek.com. I've got this all printed out for you. I work with clients on this exercise. It's really simple. Just shoot me an email and I'll send it to you. But I don't really think you need the worksheet. I mean, I'm happy to send you a PDF, but you don't need the worksheet. You need a journal. You need some time. You need to think. You need to create space for that thought. And then I'm going to ask you, after you subscribe, to tell another person about this show. The more of these little episodes I create, getting this little preseason put together, the more excited I am about what is to come. I've got 8 seasons already mapped out. 8 mini seasons, probably over the next 2 years or so that these seasons are going to drip out, and it's really profound work. So I'm urging you to stay tuned. You're going to get a lot of benefit for being here. I promise I will not waste your time or your attention. These episodes are not going to be any longer than they need to be, and you're going to be challenged to think with every one, hopefully challenged to rethink the way you sell. Thanks again for being with me. I'll be back in a couple of days with that 5th and final question, and I'll talk to you then.